Hey, welcome back. Today's video, we're looking at the Windlass Steelcrafts 15th century arming sword. This is the Royal Armouries edition. This is in collaboration with Matt Easton. Do some specs, up close looks, a little bit of movements with this arming sword. My first impressions on this one is going to be just the overall look of it. This is in collaboration with Matt Easton and the Royal Armouries over in the UK. That's their collection of arms and armor. They're standard for collections of arms and armor, and Matt's done a lot of really great videos on that, so make sure to check out the channel. I don't need to promote Matt Easton's channel, but I just like watching them personally, so just gonna say that. I've been watching Matt's stuff for a really long time. So this tapers out, much more of a skinny blade. It's got a diamond cross section going all the way up it. I like the sweeping type of guard here, especially when you're in these lower guard positions. You have more hand protection. You even have it obviously more up top as well. But in these lower hand protection, these lower guards, the hand protection is definitely there, especially if you're going into binds. You've got the protection of that, and also the protection of that on the other side, on the forehand and the backhand side. Where this thing is really unique is the point of balance. It's kind of hard to describe if you've never held like something like Albion or Arms and Armor, which they're in this historical thing with the dimensions of them and the point of balance and all that. This is starting to not feel like Windlass anymore. This is starting to feel like something that it's a Royal Arming Sword. So even when you're working cuts, even when you're moving through different thrust positions, through guards, the cut into the thrust, no matter where you are, the cut into the thrust is really solid. It just feels dense, but also has a lot of finesse to it at the same time. Whether you're working some larger cuts on the vertical, whether you're going into more of chops and little hacks, or if you are going thrust in the cut, or you're going cut into thrust, they've done a really exceptional job with the point of balance. So much so that even the forefinger and the thumb, if you just hold it in the point of balance, like toward the middle of the handle, and you're just to hold it, it stays, the tip stays relatively steady no matter where you're moving it. Even if I move my hand over, the tip always comes back into the center, which is a really good sign that whoever did the dimensions on this and made this knew what they were doing. So cutting is exceptional on it for doing moving through different forms through cut and thrust. I will not be doing cut testing with this one because this one was not sharpened. So if you do want to add a sharpening surface, you definitely can. It has a edge that's ready to go, so if you wanted to add a sharpening surface, you definitely can. The scabbard is a burgundy that's stitched on the back. It's got a brass tip to it. It draws in really well. And this would look great on a sword stand too, even if you are going to add this to a collection and not do cutting or any fencing training with it at all. Even just having this on a sword stand, or even like mounted up on a wall, I think it would look great. So they've done an exceptional job. The pommel, the handle is really comfortable. That's another thing I wanted to mention, is that the two notches right here, they fall right into the middle finger and they fit perfectly. So I have a pretty normal sized hand, but even if you wanted to go more into a handshake grip, if for some reason you wanted to go into like a more of a fencing or saber grip, I like something more in the middle. Handshake grip is great. Maybe the thumb a little bit more folded forward a little bit. That way you can move from cut, thrust, and guard and have it feel really comfortable. But this thing moves. This thing moves really, really well. So really happy to get this one. Check out Windlass's other stuff in their signature series. And they also have, I believe, a longsword in the Royal Collection as well. That's what I have to say about it. It moves really well, flies really well. Let's go through some specs on it, up close looks, and a little bit of movement. Overall length 37 inches, blade length 30 5/8 inches. Weight 2 pounds 14 ounces. The edge is unsharpened with a width of 44.7 millimeters. Thickness goes from 5.8 millimeters to 3 millimeters. Pommel is peened. Point of balance is 3 5/8 inches from the guard with a grip length of 3 5/8 inches. Blade is a 1075 high carbon steel manufactured by Windlass. Here's some movement with sword and shield. This is the Lords of Battle Rodella shield. It's about 25.5 by 25.5 inches. Just showing some movement through cut, thrust, and guard positions. Give you an idea of what this arming sword looks like when it's flying. And then again, just moving through guards, different thrust positions, and cut without the shield. This thing flies really well. It's very comfortable in hand to throw cuts with. And it is primarily balanced for thrust. So cut almost feels kind of secondary for the way the point of balance and the blade shape is when you're moving with it. And just again, moving through guards, transitioning with a little bit of footwork, and showing you as close to three-dimensional as possible how this blade moves. I would say probably my favorite part of this is these larger cuts. Just going through a 3-cut combination here of a forehand backhand and a reverse backhand, covering a lot of surface area, and the handle's very comfortable. All right, there you have it for the Windlass Steelcrafts 15th century arming sword. This is the Royal Armouries Collection. Exceptional from point of balance to how this one moves in hand, through cut, through thrust, and also through guard positions. If you like this one, you want to pick it up and add to your collection, click the link in the description below this video to buy this one today at cultofathena.com. Of course, you can add a sharpening surface as well if you choose to do cutting with this one. Let me know what you like about this one in the comments below. If you want to see more from the Royal Armouries Collection, make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tom, for Kult of Athena's YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next review.